All India Agriculture Workers Union, and I'm a member of Politburo of CPM, and I was a member in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So today I also attended this Mahila conference and just greeted the conference. So while we are meeting you, we want to inform you that All India Agriculture Workers Union and other like-minded organizations working among the agriculture workers and rural workers have decided to launch massive and continuous protests against the replacing of MNREGA to BBG Ramji scheme by the central government. You see, the biggest social security scheme ever introduced after the formation of Indian Republic is MNREGA. Last year, you see, the registered workers are around 12 crores. Last year, the live workers were around 8 crores. And employment was provided to 7 crore workers who are registered in this scheme. You see, today, what is the attendance? 31 lakhs. Today's attendance of this scheme is 31 lakhs. How unattractive is this scheme? Already, MNRG, you have 8 crore live workers. So, it became unattractive because the central government wants to dismantle the scheme. Their idea was to phase out the entire scheme. Directly, you cannot announce it. We are going to phase out MNREG. Directly, you cannot so. Then what should be the idea? Dilute the scheme. Dilute the scheme to phase out the scheme. It is very unfortunate because in our country, you see how much benefits have been provided to the multinationals and capitalist groups in our country. We reduced our corporate tax, which was beneficial to all the corporate companies in India. How much benefits they are getting? You see, in recent past, there was a sharp fall in the international market on crude prices. There was a sharp fall in crude prices. Did we receive any benefit out of that? Did they reduce the petroleum prices in India? Why did not they reduce the petroleum prices? Because it is beneficial to Reliance. Reliance is the largest refinery group in the world. They are beneficial out of it. We purchased crude from Russia. Who are the beneficiaries? Not the ordinary people. Corporates are the beneficiaries. And you see, whatever schemes announced by the central government, the beneficiaries are corporates. And as far as the ordinary people are concerned, this is a country where the lowest allocation for social security. In GDP terms, it is around 2 to 0.2 to 3%, not even 1%, not even half percent. Social security allotment in Indian budget is, according to GDP terms, this is 2, 2.5, 2.6, something like that. Point, not 1, minus. So, the lowest in the world. You see health, which is the lowest in the world. Ours is one among the lowest in the world. Even in the subcontinent, we are the lowest. Whether it is Bangladesh or Pakistan or Sri Lanka or Nepal, this is the country where we are providing the lowest amount for allotment for social security network. And even in this situation, we are curtailing the whatever assistances for the deprived section. So this is the attitude of the central government. How much it is anti-poor and anti-people. This decision of the central government was reflecting very much about their class nature. Similarly, you see how hurriedly they passed the enactment. The replacing of an act to a scheme was taken place within 72 hours. No proper discussion in the parliament. They rush with the bill and overnight sitting in Lok Sabha. Then following day in Rajya Sabha. And the president give the the signature within 12 hours. Within 72 hours, everything is changed in our country. How many bills are pending with the different governors in our country? There was case in the Supreme Court about the same thing. How much time the gubernatorial office can kept the legislation passed by the legislative assembly. For years they are keeping in their pocket. Even the president's office, how many pending bills are there? But you see, with regard to this bill, which is against the most downtrodden section in our country, there was no proper debate, no proper verification, no proper study, and it's steamrolled. You know, this is the bulldozer Raj is very much in our country. Na? This is the bulldozer. Bulldozer above crores of poor Indian people. Every day they are bulldozing it. This is the most anti-people action by Narendra Modi government. We are aware that after this Bihar election, a change in the attitude of central government was very much visible. Of course, BJP have their communal agenda and they are dividing the country on caste communal basis. But they have an economic agenda which is anti-poor. That is very much visible. After this Bihar election, they have implemented the labor code. All the 29 labor laws have been evaporated. There is no right for the ordinary worker in this country. Only one right is prevailing. That is for corporates, for exploiting this nation and its natural wealth and whatever resources which this country has. Then, what is BJP? That is the question. This is the pro-corporate party in our country. A pro-corporate regime is there in power. And they are too obscurantist and communal. The most right-wing political party and government prevailing in the world is in India, and they are implementing all kind of anti-people programs, and moreover, all the state governments, they are in deep trouble. Already, the finance of state governments are insufficient. After the introduction of GST, they are not in a position to levy in items other than petrol and Indian-made liquor. So, there are constraints in the day-to-day affairs of state governments. Most of them are in a very difficult situation. And the central government's allocation to the states, you see that it is quite arbitrary. Non-BJP state governments, the central assistances have been reduced like anything. Kerala is one among the most developed states in our country, and one among the lowest allocation from the center is for Kerala. In Kerala budget, the state government has shown that only 27% center aid and grants to the state. Whereas in UP, Bihar, it is 60 to 70 like that. So, the state governments are in a very difficult condition. Now, this central scheme of BB Giramji, according to that scheme, 40% of the money expenditure have to be bear by the state government. How do they bear it? And everywhere in Indian villages, RSS is moving with mic set BJP and announcing. Now this 100 days work has been enhanced to 125 days. For 100 days work, we need minimum 2,40,000 crore allotment per annum in the central budget. If it is 125 days work, it needs 3 lakh crore rupees per annum. If it is 3 lakhs crore, 60% should be held by the central government. Then it is around 1,80,000 crore. So far, in any union budget, they had given more than 80,000 crore allocation. So now they have to enhance their allotment to more than 1 lakh crores per annum. So the central state governments has to further, they also have to contribute 1,20,000 crore rupees, 20,000 crore rupees. Is it possible in the given situation? So it is impossible to provide employment. Not even they are announcing to 125, not even for 25 days work. So it became unattractive. Nowadays it is not on demand. Central government has withdrawn from its responsibility. So it is an attack against the most downtrodden section, the poorest of the poor in our country, and the BJP does not have any hesitation to take up whatever benefits are giving to the ordinary people. In such a situation, the only weapon in the hands of the poor section is to unleash mass struggles, militant agitations against this policy change of the BJP regime. No other option. You see, there is the parliament, there is no proper discussion. In Indian parliament, once you introduce a bill, that bill will go to the selection, either the selection committee or the standing committee. This was not discussed in any of the committees. So, and the democratic step had been taken by the central government. Why? Parliament is dominated by the richest section in our country. That is the problem. MPs are crorepati's. So, no such discussion. Most of them are hailing from that class. Money power in politics reduced the scope of the ordinary people to enter to the legislative institutions. You know what is the average income and wealth of the MPs from nearby Andhra Pradesh. All of them have big crowdpadis, all the MPs. So they are not worried about the problems of the ordinary people who are engaging in the MNREGA. They are not even getting the announced minimum wage, even the in a state, even the half of the announced minimum wage in the state. This is the pathetic condition. Now, by replacing the act to a scheme, the government does not have any responsibility for providing employment. So we decided to unleash mass agitations. All India Agriculture Workers Union has decided to conduct big mass protest garaos of the central government officers on 2nd of February. 1st February, this time I think they are announcing the budget. Budget is on 1st January, Sunday I think. So it's a holiday for them. So they are not at all worried about the budget. They are taking the main decisions out of budget. Main economic policies, decisions, major decisions have been taken out of budget proposals. So they are not serious about the budget. And we are not anticipating anything positive from this BJP regime. So naturally, 2nd of February, we will mobilize lakhs of agriculture workers and rural workers with massive militant protest in front of the central government offices. So in almost all the district headquarters and the state capitals, we will conduct this program. And after this program, continuous agitation by the workers all over the country, not only the All India Agriculture Workers Union. There are so many like-minded organizations who are working among the MNREGA workers. We have contacted with them. We had a national roundtable meeting with them, and we decided we will carry forward this agitation till the government will change its present decision and reintroduce the MNREGA scheme. This is what we are discussing about, and some such planning have been done recently. And you see, the central government is moving to a different direction. Now, a UGC bill is going to introduce, because total control by the central government. You know, the universities and the education institutions were a state subject. Then after that it became in concurrent list. Now what is happening? No right for the state governments. Appointing teacher, appointing vice chancellor. The money is from the state exchequer. Who is paying for them? Payment is from the state exchequer. They are not right to appoint the teacher or the vice chancellor. Everywhere central intervention is there, and they are controlling through backhands. UGC is misusing for that purpose. So, you know, this government is against federalism in our country. That is what going on. So, almost all the institutions have been misused by the central government. Recently, we are all aware, and the reports are coming, that crores of people were losing their right of franchise. Crores of names have been excluded. Crores of names. So mapping is there, CR is there. So this is the situation. So the democracy is being attacked by the ruling government. This is what it is very unfortunate. They have no respect to any of the democratic institutions in our country, right from parliament up to election commission. That is the situation. So naturally, the only way out is people resistance. So since the legislative institutions are reserved for the rich, the only way out, the unreserved area is the streets of the nation, the roads of this country. So capture the road, move ahead, and force the government to change their policies. In that direction, our organization is actively organizing mass struggles and protests. Thank you.